Three.
Good evening, everybody. I am Jen Ferris, and I have hijacked Jennifer Dalton's podcast. That's my great privilege. We are turning the tables this time around. Thank you so much for joining us and tuning in to, the Jen and Jen show. The
Jen.
We're totally on the Jen. So I know that you, Jen, or you, Jenny from the Chopping Block, have an amazing audience that follows you quite consistently and are very faithful and loyal followers and listeners. So I wanted to take this opportunity to bring Jenny from the Chopping Block to you because I'm curious about who she is and how it is where she is right now and who she's becoming and where she's come from, because I love hearing personal stories, and I'm so tired of telling my story.
I love you.
I want to hear other people's stories. So, Jenny from the Chopping Block, welcome to your own podcast.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Jen. I can't stop smiling. I'm so happy I can't stop smiling. Where'd we learn that from?
That comes from the incantation walk.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of our incantation walk, you told me that was the first time you met me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And that incantation walk is at a Date with Destiny seminar that Tony Robbins puts on. It's pretty intense, right? It's like 6 days and almost 6 nights. I would say more 6 nights and almost 6 days. But it's not a whole lot of the days, and it's a lot of the nights.
We actually
on Tony time.
we dived in today in one of my masterminds to our primary question, and it was really emotional. It was beautiful, but it was really, really emotional.
Yeah, let's talk about that. But first, tell me what it is, like how it is that what brought you to Tony Robbins? Because as you know, like we both have that in common, and a lot of times people discover Tony Robbins when they're in they're in a low point in their life and they're looking to make some changes, and a lot of things haven't worked, and some people stumble upon him. Some people very deliberately seek out his programs, his seminars, and other people attend his programs to level up their life and step up and get to adopt a new identity or break through to a new level in their business. So I'm curious, what brought you to, what was your, how did you discover Tony Robbins, and then what was your first seminar you attended?
So my first experience with Tony was, in truth, when you said, you kind of, a lot of people find him when you're going through some challenging stuff. And I honestly want to say it was really at a time where I was kind of turning to my faith. And I think that's what really brought me to him. But it was my cousin who had gifted me a ticket to UPW. And I think it was a higher power. I mean, I don't know if he knew exactly what I was going through at the time. He might have through other family members, but it was like the perfect timing for what I was dealing with in my life, because I was going through a huge transition, work, and things were kind of things were really challenging at the time. So my first event was UPW in New Jersey. And to be honest with you, I didn't even plan on staying the whole time, because I had I was working in fine dining and I had a lot of responsibility, and it was restaurant week that weekend. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for 2 days because I know my cousin spent a lot of money on the ticket. But I'm going to go back to work like day 3. And after day 2, I screamed out to the audience, I hate my job. And the next day I quit that job. And it was interesting because, you know, everybody around me was cheering me on. And I was like, this is awesome. Yeah. And when I got home, everyone thought I went completely insane. And they were kind of worried about me. But it was the best decision I've ever made. And I've been running with Tony since. So it was a great experience.
Now, what year would that have been that you...
That was 2018.
2018 in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And was that in what month was that?
November.
November. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and do you feel comfortable to get a little raw with me?
Oh, absolutely. If there's anybody I want to get real and raw with, it's you, Jen.
Oh, you're so
But before we do, can we talk about your flowers?
Oh, yeah. My beautiful garden. This is my birthday garden.
Birthday girl.
Oh, yeah, because it was my birthday on Saturday.
Love my Geminis.
Oh, yes. I know. If you can believe it, I turned 45.
Go, girl. Looking 35.
Oh, thanks. And yeah, and so a lot of my friends just blessed me with a little bit of nature and brought in God's garden into my own home. And now I get to call it my birthday garden. And that the far one, the tall one on the far left there, I guess, I don't know if that's your right, but that one is a combination of gifts. And my friend Kim gave me a lot of the different colors, like just the like a big colorful bouquet. And then I mixed in the red roses because my friend, yesterday I went to her house for barbecue and I brought steak and that I had marinating. And of course, I'm a meatitarian all the way. I eat a lot of vegetables too, but I'm part of a community shared agriculture, I think. Is that what it's called? A CSA?
Oh, awesome.
And yeah, it's a local farmer here, just on the other side of the Ottawa River over in Gatineau.
Ottawa.
And it's called Grazing Days, and he raises grass-fed and grass-finished beef. And yeah, I made the switch actually quite a while ago. Anyway, because for health reasons. But so anyway, so I marinated steaks for the barbecue for my birthday, and then I arrived, and she had all these dozen red roses for me, and they were so lovely. I just love the shape of roses and how soft and delicate they are. And I just love the shape of them, how they're like, they seem like they're all tightly wound, and then they evolve. Like, I love the way they open up, and it's so, I love it. I love it.
Gorgeous.
And I love the smell of roses.
So I was just thinking that. It probably smells so good in there.
It does. It's very nice. And then this little one, this in front, is from my friend Leanne. She delivered it, but her sister Marnie owns my barnyard garden here in Ottawa, just outside of Ottawa. And it's all wild in her garden.
So beautiful.
Yard. And she's just starting up her business there to do local flora, like local delivery. And Yeah, it's really cool. I love the rusticness of that little bouquet there of wildflowers. And then just arrived is this on this the far side is beautiful bouquet from my dear friends in Arizona, Lori and Javier Badio, that I met also at Date with Destiny. And Lori manages my GoFundMe campaign to help cover my travel and accommodation costs to go to Tony Robbins leadership program.
Beautiful.
Uh,
I can't
yeah,
wait to hear all about that.
it was such a lovely surprise to receive those, and I wasn't expecting it all. And then I was in my shower, and there's this ringing phone, and then knocking on the door, and Victoria barking. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I just want to have a shower.
Special delivery.
Special delivery indeed. It's just so beautiful. I love my birthday garden. So nice. I love the mixtures of them all, and so much color and joy, and just makes me so happy. But this is not about me.
I'm sorry.
This episode is all about you, and introducing you to your audience, your faithful listeners and watchers who come and join you every morning and every evening, and um, allow them the opportunity to get to know a little bit more about you. So, yes, flowers there, flowers on our screen. We're in the garden. We're going to tiptoe through our garden.
All right, do it.
We'll get real and raw and talk about you, and we can just be all happy because these flowers make us happy, right?
Absolutely.
And bring so much love and joy, right? And peace, right? So, yeah. So your talent, you were struggling. What were you struggling with? So you were saying you weren't happy in your chosen uh, job, career? Was it?
Yeah, I think that was the start of realizing at the time, like my addiction, it was just the negativity, just wanting to change my life, wanting to be better, do better. I just realized like the life that I was living just wasn't fulfilling me. It was actually making me unhappy.
And that was the hospitality industry or the fine dining specifically?
The job that I was at right when I was gifted the ticket had just closed down, but I was there for, I think it was a long time. I was there like almost 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah.
How did you get into, was it that job specifically was fine dining, or is it the hospitality industry as a whole you're not a fan of?
I mean, I love it. It's like a love-hate. I think there's something out there more for me. But it's hard to walk away from something you've done your whole life. You're good at, it's easy.
Well, a lot of us, right, do that when we're going like in high school and putting ourselves through university. We get odd jobs in restaurants and bartending and that kind of stuff. But did you see that as being a career, or how did you stumble upon?
I think it was just in my family, just being in the kitchen with my dad since I'm a little girl. And then just growing up working jobs, either with him and his stuff, or, eventually putting myself through, school and stuff. I always loved making money. So it was I had experience in it since I was young. So it just came naturally and easy and paid the bills.
Sure. And so you put a flag in the ground and you said, no more. You had enough. You wanted change.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so, did you find the change you were seeking? Are you still in that butterfly chrysalis stage? Where are you at in that?
I think I'm still trying to figure out what it is I want to do differently. But after that experience, I came home and I typed in to, a job website. I typed in coach
Okay.
because I'm like, I wonder what I could, like, what kind of jobs are out there. As I don't know why I put in coach, but and then a job popped up for a school for kids with cerebral palsy, and it was a community coach. So I was like, cool, maybe this is something I was guided to do, which I was. And it was great, but it just, it didn't pay very well. And I was kind of used to getting paid a lot more. And yeah, it just, I guess I learned a lot, and I know I was there for a reason, but it wasn't like long term.
And then what kind of promises did you make to yourself when you walked across fire?
Ooh.
We did walk across fire, didn't we? We're fire walkers, aren't we?
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get back. I think I've walked 3 times now.
3 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I just more about just knowing that I can do anything I want, and just we all have that power, and to not be afraid.
And did you find new strength?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Courage.
I still think about that to this day before I'm going to do something that's scary or something different. So empowering.
Yeah, I had never in all of my life been to anything like that. And it really did. It was the beginning for me of the transformation. So, was it the second night? Like what kept you there? When you shouted out to the audience, "I hate my job"? When was that? What did you
that was that the firewalk night? It had to. When did we walk on fire? Third night?
Usually the first night.
Oh, the first night.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was, but I think it must have been the second night. And yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going to risk it all. Like I have to make a change. And I think my personal development and my sanity and my happiness meant more to me than anything else. And I knew I could figure it out.
Yeah.
And I did.
For sure you did. And then did you make some promises for yourself when you went through the Dickens process? What did you come out on the other side?
So Dickens was really hard for me. Because first of all, I felt like I was so worried about everybody else, everybody else's experience around me. Like I was terrified. I was actually petrified. Like I went home. I think just the pain that people walk around with that no one knows, like no one sees. It was tough for me. Yeah. And then, throughout that, I realized like things that I saw in other people that I wanted to help them with, or that I felt like they needed to overcome, were really things that I had to overcome and deal with. It was just what I was seeing in them about myself. So there was a lot of growth in that.
And so when you were there in the Dickens process, were you feeling your pain or were you feeling other people's pain?
Both, but I was more like consciously worried and just curious about what was going on within others.
Yeah, it's pretty emotional evening, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the third night, is the Dickens process. And yeah, it's really, like, it's beyond powerful. I don't even know how to describe that, but yeah, it is.
I will say that the last Dickens process
Are you there?
in Miami has
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
The last Dickens process that I did changed my life so drastically that I think it transformed me like into a different person. Just
And
overcoming, huh?
you went to 3 UPWs?
Yeah, well, I did November in Newark, and then I did
New Jersey.
I did New Jersey, I did LA, and Miami.
And
I
Miami.
think that's it.
You attended
I went to it.
3?
I crewed 2 events.
You crewed. Okay. And so what happened in Miami? What was what clinched it for you?
I think like Miami was amazing. Probably my favorite event so far. And I think part of Miami was I was kind of scared to go back after, the experience that I had in LA. But I like knew that's what I needed, and to just be around my community and all the people that have like helped me and just loved on me for so long. And so Miami was almost like a little bit of a test for me, like to see if there was a couple of thoughts that I had, like limiting beliefs, or like, is that what caused like certain things to happen? And just, I set the intention to go and to be in that process and see where it led me. And it was scary, but it really did transform my life. And I felt like,
go ahead. You felt like
I felt like me again. Like I felt for the first, I would say in about 20 years, it woke me up.
You found you.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah. And what happened in LA? What happened that made you feel like you had to go back to UPW to overcome something?
Well, in LA, I was volunteering, and my significant other of 8 years suffered a massive stroke. And it was shortly after the Dickens process. So in my thought process, I thought maybe that had something to do with him getting sick. But then, so I guess that was the question of, was that to blame? Or was that part of it? But when I went deep within it in Miami, I realized that it wasn't. And it was freeing. Yeah.
And when was Miami? So November 2018 was New York or New Jersey, whichever. And then was it March in LA?
March, it was LA, yep.
And then when did you go to Miami? In October, the following October 2019? November 2019.
I think it was November, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And so 9 months later, you faced your fears again through the Dickens process. Oh, did we lose you?
I'm sorry, I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
My computer has a mind of its own.
What's that?
My computer has a mind of its own.
Oh, it was your computer. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, not at all. I hope your audience is still there.
Yes, I just want to say hi to all these lovely people that I see right now. Joanna, Olivia, Lorelai, Ashley, and Ben Fox. Hey guys, love you guys. Thanks for watching.
So, so we were talking about LA.
Yes.
In March, and your partner got quite ill. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure.
Okay. What happened there?
So he suffered a.
You went to New Jersey. You had an amazing time. You had a breakthrough. You screamed out to the world that you've had enough of your job. You came back home. You made some changes. You decided enough is enough in the hospitality industry. Let me try out coaching. And then you had an incredible experience that you had to share that with your partner.
Yeah, and plus like that, it was also like I felt like I was growing and changing, and it was hard to explain it. And I also thought that he could benefit from it, and then it was also, I thought maybe like it's hard for people to understand who haven't went through it, and I found myself getting into like not arguments, but I remember he would say things like, well, why don't you just go ask Tony? Or like, it was almost like a little jealousy or something.
Yeah.
Which I've heard from so many people that that's like normal.
Yeah, it's normal.
Because I remember him saying, well, I tell you the same things, but you listen when Tony tells you. And I'm like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah. That's a normal response, a very normal reaction. And it is hard for our significant others, you know, because they haven't gone through it. They haven't. It's a little bit of jealousy. Yeah, I could see that. Okay, so.
Yeah.
And then.
And
you
yeah.
couldn't explain it. And.
Yeah. So I was on a path where I was like trying to go to every single event. I went to Date with Destiny. I made it happen, and then and I had signed up for Mastery University. So I had that free ticket, and it was unfortunate, but he wound up getting sick at the event. And then so I was crewing, and I remember I would jump around, like I did the children's Dickens. So like I was part of the food team, but I would always kind of help out whatever team needed help. Like, so I did the children's Dickens, which I had a great experience with, being with the kids, and they're also smart. And, we do like a modified version of Dickens with them. And then I met with Christopher after, just to check on him to make sure he was all right, because I knew it was like heavy stuff. And then I was selling programs because they needed help. And he walked up to my table and he was like, wow, you look really good. Like, I'm proud of you. I can't wait to share with you what I've experienced. And he was like glowing, like he looked so happy and so at peace. And then I said, hey, I'm going to go grab like dinner in the crew room if you want me to make you a plate. And he's like, no, it's all right. And then I guess somebody from the Tony Robbins world, I got a message on my phone like, hey, where are you? I have to meet up with you. And I was like, all right. Like I thought maybe they were going to surprise me with something, or, oh, it said it's regarding Christopher. And then I'm like, oh shit, I hope he didn't get in trouble, because he was like buying food outside on these like illegal food carts. And I'm like, if he got arrested, I'm going to kill him. So they came, they met with me, and, he's like, they didn't really have too much information for me, but basically he was rushed to the emergency room, and that's where they threw me in an Uber. I went to the hospital, and he was still, it was before everything kind of went down where he had serious, like it went from bad to worse, I guess I could say. And I was just there with him, and he just held my hand and like looked scared. And then they transferred him to another hospital, and we spent a long time there. And yeah, it was a really surreal experience.
What happened? What brought him to the hospital? Like what brought him to the emergency room?
He suffered a stroke.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was after doing the Dickens process, when he had committed to making so much change and transform.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And so then how long was he in the hospital? So you're in LA now.
Mm-hmm.
So he missed out on the last day
mm-hmm.
in the evening, and you had to give up your post in the crew.
Yeah.
And then how long were you with him in the hospital?
We spent over 2 months there.
Wow. Because he wasn't safe to travel.
Yeah, he wasn't able to fly because there was too much pressure. So they were afraid because they had to do, it was just a lot going on. So it wasn't safe.
Mm-hmm. And it was a stroke like it impacted on his brain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 months, you pretty much you were now living there in LA, helping your partner recover and recoup, and watching his diagnosis. And tell me about that. What happened there?
That was tough. I stayed at a guest house, which was attached to the hospital, which was nice. It was a little less expensive than like the hotels. And, I had so many people offer me places, and I was just afraid I was going to lose him and not be there for him, even though, so so I stayed there for a while until, because it's really for like doctors and nurses and like, I guess, select people in circumstance to stay there. But once I was kind of, I had to give up the time there for someone else. I stayed with somebody that was in my mastermind, Jody Cooper, sweetheart. And she wasn't too far away. So that was like towards the end of the 2 months. I stayed with her for a bit.
And talk to me about your community. You say you talk about them giving you a lot of support and rallying around you.
Oh yeah.
How did you find them all? How did they know about, and how did they come to your aid, and how was it able to love you and support you? Because how does that happen?
Yeah, it was really, I don't know what I would do without them, especially during all that. I think a big part of it was through the Facebook Live challenge, and Lorelei was like my saving grace. Hasna Wood. I guess I was using that platform as kind of like, because I was in the midst of like a challenge where I was going live every day. And then all this shit went down. So I was kind of just felt close to that community, and I felt safe in that community to talk about anything. And, that's where I was able to build really, really good friendships. And then of course, a lot of Tony's trainers, and honestly, there was like angels coming in and out of the hospital. The whole house that Christopher and I stayed with, they all came and dragged me out one day to get some food, because I was just I didn't shower, sleep, eat, like, so they dragged me out one day.
Yeah.
And just, I guess, I don't know where they came from. I guess just God. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, John and his wife would come every week
Yes.
and pray with us. And there was a lot of people coming to pray, and just, yeah, a lot of support.
Yeah. And how did you come through all of that? Like, what was it like for you to hear his diagnosis? And were you like, what were you feeling? Were you praying every day? Like, okay, maybe today we'll go home. Like, that's what I would have been. I'm like, can we get home? Like, I think it would be much better if we were to.
There was a lot of praying and a lot of denial, I think.
Yes. Yeah. And were you hoping that you would get home?
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. I don't think it was really like, I was just hoping that he would get better, because it was crazy to watch, like crazy beautiful to watch though, like to see a little bit of progress every day and just seeing that whole, experience. I never really realized how serious that was. And I had a lot of experience. I mean, even Master Co was a big part of that whole experience, and just I don't know. It was crazy.
It was part of your.
It was crazy.
Yeah. And so we are like a year and a bit out from LA. And where is Christopher at now? How is he like you did get home back to New York, so he must have recuperated enough that he could travel, or how did that?
So we, after a while, it was important that he was closer to his family, and I guess all the care that he received in California was like, I guess it was safe enough for him to travel by ambulance. So we spent 3 days in an ambulance driving cross country to a hospital in New York.
Really?
And yeah, so he stayed there for a while. He bounced around to different hospitals and nursing homes, and he's actually in a nursing home that he used to work in right now still.
So he hasn't completely recovered. He's still recovering. What kind of progress is he making? Like, is he able to talk? Does he have memories? Do you know? Like, is he mobile?
He could walk with a cane. I'm pretty sure his right arm and leg aren't functioning. Or not. And he can communicate. He's very socially intelligent, but it's not like he could have like an in-depth conversation, or it's not like, I don't know how to explain it.
Is his speech slurred?
It's not slurred, but I think it's repetitive. Like a lot of the same things are said a lot.
Now, is it just from the environment of the nursing home, or is there maybe some memory loss, I think?
I'm not sure, honestly. Sometimes I feel like he remembers stuff and he could like be like, oh yeah, like I really believe that. And other times I'm not sure what the extent of it is. I just don't know. Because again, he can't really say like exactly too much.
But he's getting good care right now.
Oh yeah.
And
the best.
He's been there a year. Yeah. Okay. And so where are you with all of this? How are you feeling? Like you're, what are we, 15 months later now? Where are you at with all of that?
It's been a long journey, a tough journey. Probably one of the toughest things I've had to experience in my life. And again, it's not about me. It's like, more about him and his family and, that whole.
But it is about you because he's your love. He was your love. He is your love, So that impacts on you when you can't have that same level of relationship.
Yeah.
So yes, it is about him and his healing, and but it's also about you and how you're coping with it all and where you're at with it, right?
I could say, honestly, I'm at peace with it all at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so where does that journey go? Where do you think that journey with you and Christopher is headed?
I'm a big supporter of his recovery, and I talk to him every couple of days, and I pray for him, and I still believe that it's possible that he can make a full recovery. But I just don't think it's meant for us to be together on that level. There's a couple other things that kind of went down. And I've just really been focusing on me and just building myself up and loving myself, which has been really nice.
Yeah. And so now you're focusing on you. What does that mean for you? You're building your own amazing community, and you're in a couple of masterminds, it sounds like. And so what are you building for you? What are you
I
building?
don't know, but I can't wait.
Yes, they say that a journey starts with a journey of 1,000 steps starts with the first one, I suppose, right? So it's all just, you're putting a lot of work into building your community and drawing your audience. You've had incredible, outstanding people on your show. And what are some of your takeaways from your guests?
Wow. Well, again, it started with just showing people that have seriously impacted my life and just been such a shining light to me, showing them gratitude. And then it's turned into just building really deep relationships. Like I get to know you guys better and kind of see what your contributions are to the world. And it's inspiring. And I love it. I absolutely love it.
So it's you're building deeper connections, it sounds like, with your guests and bringing these amazing individuals to the community for them to know, watch you build your relationships with them, and see how they're putting their best selves out into the world. And you mentioned you went to Date with Destiny, so that was in December of 2018. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, I was on fire after UPW.
And then you were expected to go to do the university, Master University, so Life and Wealth and Date with Destiny, that entire package. And at Date with Destiny, it's again an incredibly transformative kind of a seminar. What did you discover about yourself there? You said you talked about your primary question with your mastermind. this week. Is the primary question that you guys were discussing in your mastermind, was it the same for you as when you discovered Date with Destiny? Has it changed?
It's
Like, you are now a year and a half out, 18 months out from your Date with Destiny experience.
I highly recommend everybody to revisit those. And I know there's a lot of people getting their letters, and because we all write ourselves a letter during Date with Destiny. And my primary question was, it was kind of like hippie-esque. Like, it was like, how can I provide more peace, love, and understanding in this moment now? And then Jody Ray Solomon actually helped me work through, like, how could I be a shining example of courage in this moment now? And just like, I think that still rings true, but I've even reading through it today with the mastermind, it made more sense. And it, like, when I was reading through it, it's actually happening because, you know, when you're able to do that, because part of it also is like, I want to inspire others to have the same feelings. And I think you give people the freedom when you step into that. And it's just honestly newly happening, like really happening. So yeah, it's been quite the journey.
Well, and it sounds to me like when you put out that primary question out there, it sure sounds like you've been tested.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You've had many opportunities to ask that primary question.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember your primary question?
I do. I remember.
What is it?
So my primary question is, what is the lesson I am to learn from this moment?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, and did you find yourself when you were going through LA, going through your partner's illness, watching his recoveries, sitting by him, standing by him, and coming to this new realization that you are probably going separate ways? How has your primary question served you now? How has it been serving you when you're going through this challenging time?
I think the peace within it, I truly feel, because I feel that I did everything I could in my power to try and be supportive. Love, I'm a lover. So that's definite. And understanding, I think, is the big part, is understanding all aspects of it, feeling through and really understanding the different sides of it. So I would say 150%.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been courageous through it as well.
I think so. I would definitely say so. And so now that you are on a different path, on a self-discovery path, I think, perhaps, and maybe you're discovering a little bit more and more of you as you interview your guests and showcase them to the rest of the world. Have you found a little bit of yourself?
Oh my gosh, a lot of bit of myself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And one of the best parts of interviewing all these remarkable people is I get to learn from all of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're all masters of your craft and you all have your unique message to share, and I'm hanging on every word.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm grateful.
Do you see?
It's been amazing. And I believe that everybody that's I've been in contact with it's something bigger than us. It's been like we've been brought to each other for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that reasons for others, you know?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And you're being that shining example of peace, love, and understanding, as well as courage in all of that. And now, having all of these guests on your live show here as frequently as you do, how is that feeding into your brand of Jenny from the chopping block? I love it so much.
Thank
It's
you,
kind of
Jen.
interesting. It's interesting because it has very much of a hospitality kind of a feel to it, yet you're looking to get out of the hospitality industry.
I'm not saying get out of it, but like I want to see what else is out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be fun to explore something new and dive into maybe something within this world because I'm obviously super passionate about people and connecting, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe that doesn't have to entail me cooking or serving or hosting, or I could just, and it's funny because, you know, being a bartender and connecting with people, loosening, you know, they're a little bit more loosened up and I could connect with them. I think part of my need for connection, I fulfilled with this show.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, speaking of being a bartender,
Yes.
do you drink? You don't drink, do you? Bartenders don't usually drink, do they?
I
Or is
used to
it
drink
one for my
heavily.
guest, one for me, one for my
Like one
guest,
for my guests, two for me. That was some years. I have a lot. I'm sure anybody who's watching who remember. I mean, we had some times. We had some good times. You know, I was thinking about how I kind of built a community within that space for years. Just a really fun environment. Everybody would come to. I would pack the place out. Like, so I was thinking about how I could. That's one of my strong suits is to build community, but it doesn't have to be revolving around like a party atmosphere. Like I could do that within like this. So that was an interesting thought. And I used to drink heavily at work, and that was part of when I was not happy anymore with my lifestyle. But now I don't ever. No way. And I drink very minimally, like once in a blue.
And so that was part of your shift that you made? Did you make that shift before or after UPW New Jersey?
I would say it's been a progression. Like I used to deal with a lot of my problems with numbing the pain and having a scary relationship with alcohol. So I'm grateful to have now all these tools that I've learned in my toolbox from how to deal with things differently in a more positive and constructive way, which has probably saved my life.
Yeah, indeed. And are you comfortable working around alcohol? Like now that a lot of restaurants and businesses are opening up, like Corona is starting to leave us, it's like, yeah, I think it's about time. Bloody hell. You worn out your welcome, Corona. You gotta go.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, and you're gonna go back to work. Like, how is that? Is it going to be hard for you to be serving alcohol when you've stepped away from alcohol in your life? Well, not consuming it, I suppose I should say.
Honestly, I'm all or nothing. I really, it doesn't bother me at all. I really miss my customers. So I'm actually more looking forward to seeing people. Like tomorrow, I'm starting one of the jobs back. I love my favorite part of the variety of you know, I work a couple different places, is being able to connect with those subgroups of people. So I'm really excited to see my customers who I haven't seen in it, you know, I've just missed. So that's the part I love. The booze stuff, it doesn't faze me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
sometimes it
that's
does. Like if some things trigger me, but yeah.
Did you have an addiction to alcohol, would you say, or was it just you were?
Oh, I'm an alcoholic.
Oh,
Definitely
okay.
an alcoholic. Yeah.
Okay. And you've come through it. Did you go through like a AA, or did you go to Tony Robbins? Was he
I've been
AA?
I've been through both.
Tony Robbins.
It's funny you say that because a lot of Tony's teachings are very parallel to AA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why or how, but like even sitting in to a couple of meetings during COVID, it's similar language, like similar theory, like so it's interesting. But I really think Tony definitely helped me through, like I said before, just having better tools.
Yes. Yeah, it's true. It's and like his techniques and his strategies just have a way of flipping that switch, and the brain is rewired, you know?
Literally.
Yeah. It was that way for me. And now it wasn't, maybe it's not that way for a lot of other people, because I know that, well, there's still a lot of struggles, and life gets in the way of our personal development. You know? Oh, the nerve. But anyway, I guess it just makes us
You're the
stronger.
best.
We go through it. And so tell me, what did you do during Corona? What was the whole Corona experience, this temporary pause, if you will, in our life? It's not anything I've ever witnessed.
Yeah.
Pray to God I never witness it again. But
Same.
what did you get up to? What did you do?
So I've been super blessed during this time on many fronts. I basically have just been helping out my dad at an account. It's a Catholic high school, and we've been cooking for 8 Franciscan brothers, and it's just been, I was just so grateful because, like, coming from a hustler mentality, like I'm always at work and to like nothing, I got bored of sitting home real quick. So it was an outlet for me to be creative, and it was bonding time with my dad and learning from him, and I was able to get content from the stuff that we were creating together, and just the relationships I built with the brothers. I mean, they're probably some of my favorite human beings on the face of the planet. Beautiful people, extraordinary people. And just doing this, I mean, it's been such a gift for me. Just to slow down in a sense and I don't know how to explain it. It's been tough. There's been times, but it's been beautiful. And I think it's a gift, like big time.
Yes. So acknowledging that this period was a gift, and when I consider my primary question, which is, what is the lesson I am to learn in this moment? Was there a lesson you learned? What was your gift?
My gift was that there's so many. My gift was to, like, if I'm too busy trying to survive and catch up and all these limiting beliefs of like bullshit, there's no time left to kind of for myself to do what maybe I'm missing. Like I felt like the gift in it was having the time to realize that I'm worth it to do what fulfills me. and nothing's better than that. There's no amount of money in the world there's nothing better than that feeling.
Mm-hmm. Just knowing that you are doing what your highest purpose, you're answering your higher calling.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And when that happens, well, I think I don't know how to say his name. He's from Spain. I think that Spanish writer who wrote The Alchemist.
Oh my gosh, I just posted a quote from him today.
No, I love that book. I love it.
So good.
When in that book, one of the messages is when you're, well, mine is when you're answering your higher calling and fulfilling out your purpose, meeting your purpose. I think in The Alchemist it says when you're a person is when you're on your personal legend, or no, fulfilling your personal legend, something like that, the universe conspires.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah. So, and I just because I'm Christian, I kind of tend to think when I'm answering God's call, God opens up all the doors, right? And
absolutely,
the journey just makes it, the burdens just seem so light, and the journey just seems endlessly delightful. Like it just doesn't seem like it's not like boring, or just again, or like it doesn't seem repetitive. It seems fun and adventurous and just wow, what else
excited to wake up. Yeah, that's been like my thing. Like I cannot wait to see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, wow, what a beautiful place to be in, right? When you can just say every day, well, I've heard other people say every day that I'm above ground is a great day.
Absolutely.
I think that's true. I mean, I would certainly hate to wake up below ground.
Oh my gosh. Jen, we'd make the prettiest flowers though. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I would get the prettiest flowers, but I'd only be feeling their stems and their roots. But I mean, I would want to know that if I'm waking up underground, it means that I haven't gone to heaven, which is where I know my home is. I don't want to wake up underground.
Oh my gosh, you're a character. I love it.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say that every day I wake up above ground, it's like amazing.
Well, it's funny.
I have another day to serve and to just answer God's call, I guess. And okay, so wait, where were we? Okay, you talk to your audience while I get my thoughts back.
So Victoria says, so Jen, what's next? And it's funny because I don't know. But what I do know is that I have a remarkable group of people around me, and I'm really looking forward to possibly collaborating with a lot of people around me. And there's a few ideas out there, and I'm really excited to jump and dive in to certain things with people and see where that leads. But I think I'm big on like being present and just like every day, just like being in tune and whatever that's in front of me, focusing on that. But I know that I need to figure out maybe finally what it is that I'm really meant to do in this world. So stay tuned.
And so what are you doing to discover that?
So honestly, I've been I'm working on 2 different programs right now. So I'm doing Passion to Paycheck with Jay Shetty, because that's the whole point, right? Like we want to live our passion, but we also want to we want to be able to support ourselves. And so that's something I'm diving into. And then I've been working through Bob Proctor's program. So it's all about being in alignment. I've been trying to just manifest and stay in tune and raise my vibration, and just really, I've been really trying to do a lot of self care. And I trust that it's gonna happen. I'll figure it out.
And when we talked earlier, you told me you're on a cleanse.
Oh, yes.
Talk to me about, what is this all about?
So Jen and I were talking about how I eat way too much fruit. I've been doing the medical medium cleanse for, I did the strict 9 days, but I've been doing this. Oh, is Lorelai still on? She inspired me to do this. I've been doing it for a while now. It's been, I don't know exactly the date, but it's been a while.
But we're beyond the 9 days, right?
Beyond the 9 days now, yeah. And it's really just, I lost 21 pounds since March. And that started with Lent. I did keto for 3 months. And I think part of this journey with the whole vegan and raw food and fruits and veggies is, one, I miss them because you can't have certain things while you're eating keto. And 2, it's like I'm trying to learn about different diets and what works and what doesn't. And 3, I'm just really trying to be as healthy as I can be, and, provide my body with things that, I know you're super healthy too, like just things that nourish my body, things that are good for my liver, that clean my liver, and the healing properties of certain foods. And that kind of leads into a possible passion of mine to heal through food. So I'm kind of exploring that. Oh, and one of the brothers actually at the school, he gave me a really interesting book that super inspired me, with the same kind of concept. So it's been something kind of in my vortex that I'm exploring.
And one of your previous guests and one of your audience listeners right now, your audience members, Victoria Dio, she's inspiring you through your healing with food journey.
Absolutely. So she's amazing. And she's one of those people that I felt we were brought together. And just her story and her experience and her skills, I'm really looking forward to learning more from her on all levels.
Indeed. Indeed. And so, as you are on, you've done this medical cleanse, and you've detoxed out your body and your liver. And you've tried the juicing and you've tried the keto. Which one do you find is more suitable for your body? Are you still working through that? Are you still figuring it out?
I'm still working through it. I do love keto, but my hallucination is that it's going to be both. Like, I believe in keto and I believe in its benefits, and a lot of the doctors and the people that I've been connecting with and learning from believe in keto. But I think it's really important to do the cleanse. Like, I'll do that once every couple of months. So I'm trying to think of something like to incorporate both, because I do love both, but I'm getting tired of, I think I overdid it with the fruit.
What makes you say so? What did you notice?
Well, today when I drank my smoothie, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, it's a lot of fruit.
Yeah.
I missed it so much doing keto, but now I'm like, all right, this is like day, 12 or 13. I'm like, I don't know. This is too much fruit.
Okay. Well, the way I kind of loosely follow somewhat the bulletproof diet. Do you know that
Ooh.
with
Well, I drink their coffee, but I want
yeah.
to hear everything about it.
Well, it's in the meal plans are in his book, right? And he has a lot of recipes, and it's a lot of trial and error, and really testing what works well with your body, and but I think for me, like, it helped me to just in like get more fat into my diet, like healthy fats like avocados and coconut oil, and
Mm.
eat eat eggs, like get off that whole North American bandwagon of this isn't good for you, that's not good for you, and don't eat this, don't eat that, and go vegan, go pescatarian, go, I don't know, whatever it is. So for me, I found I just have to stick with what I can, like with what works for me, with what I can maintain on a day-to-day basis. And I know for me, like, grains really, really impact me. Like, they really have a very negative impact on my emotional well-being and my mental well-being. And I just,
Wow.
I get very angry and agitated. And so I really can't eat I can't eat grains, and plus they just stay with me, like they just stay on my body.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I know they're not good for me. So I've been able to find something that works for me, and it is um a lot of meat, but also a lot of vegetables. And there are times where I will have an apple, just so that if I'm not like, if I'm feeling or craving some sweets, then yeah, I'll have an apple. But I also keep frozen berries in the freezer, so
Mm.
blueberries and raspberries. And I take some out in the morning if I'm and just kind of let them thaw, or eat them frozen. And
Oh, yeah.
Victoria likes some frozen too, especially now that
Victoria.
she can you
She's
see her?
being such a good girl. I
Yeah.
don't see her, but I know she's chilling.
Couch there. Yeah. Um and so yeah, so it's just about what works. And I keep like frozen pineapple, and because I can't possibly, well, I shouldn't be eating a whole thing of blueberries. And when you buy them, they would go bad far, like, way too quickly before I could get through them. So I tend to buy, and Costco has really good frozen blueberries. It's the wild blueberries, as opposed to the cultivated, farmed
Mm.
blueberries. So they're really
Mm-mm.
small, and it's just easy to take out a scoop when they're frozen, and have that as my sugar, but not all the time, just every once in a while. And
Yeah, I was doing that on keto. Like, I think in the 3 months that I did keto, or whatever it was, 2 months. How long is Lent again? I think it's a month.
isn't it 40 days?
40 days. Sorry, I'm really bad. I think I had frozen berries twice, but
Yeah.
it's like just what you're saying. Like, it was just a craving of like sweets,
Yeah.
and it was so satisfying, so yummy.
Yeah. And especially when they're frozen, right? It's just kind of sticks with you.
So good. It's like ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. And so, we've all been on these yo-yo diets, and I find you just have to pick one that really you can stick to. Like, it's going to work for you. It's not going to lose its appeal and it's fad and it's not trendy. And I'm not a fan of trendy. I don't like doing trendy things. Everybody around me is telling me, oh, you should watch Tiger King, Tiger King. I'm like, you know what? Just because everybody's watching it, I'm not going to watch it.
Same, girl. We are Jen because
Yeah.
Jen, I've been living here for 6 months and my TV's still not plugged in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. There's no need. Just trash. It's all trash.
I did not watch Tiger King either, but I found the memes funny, even though I have no idea what it's about.
Yeah, I don't even know what the memes are.
So Victoria just said she bought a juicer and a frozen fruit maker.
Yeah, Victoria, way to go!
Welcome.
Yeah, Victoria and I were talking about juicers, and I was showing her the one I was coveting. Mm-hmm. She was making some choices of her own. I was like, oh, but anyway, so I don't juice too much. I do have a juicer. I was gifted a juicer, a secondhand juicer, so that was really cool. Mm-hmm. And when I first started juicing, like it was way too much sugar. Like I was going into almost like a coma, you know? And I was nauseous all day, and I was always hungry afterwards also. And that nausea would not go away until I ate. It was just bizarre. So now I don't juice all that much, but and every now and then, like after I did the breath work with John Paul on
oh my gosh, I want to hear all about it.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I actually heard Lorelai told me you did it Sunday. She was there too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what did you think?
It was really good, and it was such a different experience than the two other times that I did it. Like this time, I felt like I was going to throw up every moment. Like every movement I made is like, I'm going to be ill. I'm going to be really ill. And I'm writing to him, is it normal that I'm going to feel like I'm going to puke?
He is the best. The first time I did it, I thought I was going to die. The second time I did it, I felt so good. I'm scared of the third time now that you're saying it's different every time.
Oh yeah. People, you go through different things every time. It's all about detoxing, right? And so when he said, go get some orange juice, and like, yes, he's giving me permission to drink sugar. So I did that, and it's true. Like I juiced the orange, I juiced the lemon, and ginger, and an apple I put in there. Are you gone? Oh no, you're there. Okay.
I got it.
You're back. And so yeah, and then
this one's old.
So I drank. You were on hold?
Oh no, I said my computer. It's just funky.
Oh,
I have a new one on its way.
It walked away from you. Okay, so yeah, so then I did actually drink the juice, the orange juice and lemon and apple and ginger, and I felt better. Actually, I felt a whole lot better. But of course, it probably had a lot to do with the fact that I was eating really crappy food because I was celebrating my birthday.
What'd you have again? The mud pie?
Yeah, the mud pie, which is like ice cream goodness, but it was freezing cold. But anyway, and then I don't normally eat that kind of food. And so like I was on a sugar high, I think, for about 3 hours. And it was probably coming out after that breath work because it's like, oh my gosh, that was so bad. It was real. I was so nauseous. I haven't felt nauseous like that. And then, yes. So I probably toxified my body.
Yeah.
Overloaded it with like toxins. So, and plus I had fries. And I had a burger because we were at Montana's and because it was my birthday. So that's what I had. And then, yeah, I had that big mother of a piece of mud pie cake or whatever it is. And so, yeah, I think my body was starting to like, oh, you poisoned me. Oh, and then I didn't tell you, my French teacher they brought over this delicious banana cake. And of
Oh.
course, that banana cake was gone in 2 days. I'm so ashamed. I cannot keep sugar in the house. I swear, because I just have no self-control.
Honestly, though, the happiness that it brings you is worth it.
And but but it
Because
doesn't.
when you talk about it, like it just lights you up. Like
Well, because I indulge when it's there, but then I make very conscious decisions most of the time to not bring that kind of stuff into my house or into my body, right? And so I think after John Paul's breath work, like I think my body was like, yeah, you toxined me or whatever is that word. and, and it just had to find a way out, I suppose. So I wasn't actually ever sick, but after having that orange juice, I made the fresh orange juice with the lemon,
Yum.
apple, and ginger, and it felt so good. It tasted so good. And yeah, after having that, I felt so much better. And I like to like cut it a bit with water, and so I always have San Pellegrino in the house. Yeah, but not flavored. I just keep plain San Pellegrino. And I think that worked miracles between that the juice and the San Pellegrino. It was I felt like instantly better.
Beautiful.
So yeah, I think I did. I overloaded on toxins, but I'm back on track now. Now all that stuff is out of my house, and I just have all the beautiful flowers.
And your sprouts. You're growing your own food.
Oh yes, I do have my sprouts, my broccoli sprouts.
So
Yeah, when you get your seeds, we'll walk through that together.
beautiful. We'll do an episode on Jenny from the chopping block.
Yeah, we'll do that because broccoli sprouts are so incredibly good. Really, really, really healthy for you. I think it's sulforaphane, or I don't know what the chemical is, but it's
Good for your liver, right?
very, very good for your liver. It's good for your entire system, and and it helps too. I think it helps with the microbiome of your gut too.
Definitely makes sense.
Yeah, and any like and broccoli sprouts. I forget the chemical in it, but it's a really healthy kind of chemical. It's a good feel good kind of chemical, and I think it helps your blood and all of that. I learned that I discovered sprouting when I was trying out a whole bunch of different things, and I found for me and I was doing a lot of sprouting, but I prefer doing sprouting in the summertime, and I found the easiest thing for me to sprout is actually broccoli and
Why in the
clover.
summertime?
I don't know. I think in the summertime I just want light foods. I
Yeah. Got
and
it.
it's just so much easier. I don't know why. It's easier to do in the summer to sprout. I don't know.
I understand. I was thinking of that today.
Yeah. I don't know
So,
why, but I don't seem to do it as much in the winter time. But
so Todd B. Moore wants to know. He says, Jen, I need some more Canadian maple syrup, please.
Well, you come find me, Mr. Todd B. Moore.
Oh, tell him.
Dallas, at UPW in Dallas, and I will bring a special delivery of.
You have to get through her bodyguard first.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
That's right. Jenny from the chopping block is also the Jenny karate chop.
You have the best laugh. I love you so much.
Yeah. So my bodyguard, you'll have to get through my bodyguard, Todd, but you always have a special place for me. So
Same here. I love you, Todd.
You're just gonna have to no holds barred, let him through, but then close the door tight after he comes through.
Oh my gosh.
It's fun. So yeah, so sprouts are really good. Sprouts just have it's the highest concentration of vitamins there in the sprouts as opposed to like in the full-on plant, right? And so yeah, it's instant. And I tend to just kind of sprinkle them with my on my meal. I kind of put the instead of lettuce, you know how in restaurant, of course, in restaurants when they put the greenery on.
Yes.
I layer my plate with sprouts.
Yeah.
And add on the meat and whatever else, the vegetables.
You're inspiring me. I can't wait.
Yeah, and it's just great to just grab a handful and and, yeah, it's yummy. But you have to be really careful with sprouts because if you let them grow too long, then they start going kind of mildewy in the jar. So there's a happy medium. I've discovered.
The last batch you grew, I don't know. They look the best I've seen.
Oh yeah, no, these are really good. But I'm kind of I've learned the technique now.
Down to a science.
I've gotten it down. I'm getting there. But yeah, lentil sprouts are really, really quite good.
Ooh.
Lentil sprouts are really quite delicious. But my favorite is the broccoli. I think just because it has so much healing properties in the broccoli. And as much as I was off my usual diet this weekend, typically I tend to look at food as my medicine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
it's your fuel.
What did they say? I think oh gosh, who says that? Let medicine be thy food and food be thy medicine. Who said that? Socrates?
I don't know, but I like it.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer of that. I love that. And because I'm not good on pharmaceuticals, and my body doesn't do well on pharmaceutical type stuff. So
same. Definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah. I really like Dr. Mark Hyman too, because he's all about just the holistic and treating the whole, not just treating the disease, but just like and eating really natural, like anything that's full, like if you can see it, then you can eat it, sort of thing. Like if you know what it is, if you recognize it, as opposed to like, what am I trying to say?
Like the ingredients, like you have no idea what it means. Like it's probably not something you should be eating.
Yeah, exactly. And just like whole foods, right? As opposed to like canned foods and box foods and bag foods and that kind of stuff. Like eat the things that you can recognize. Like you can eat a carrot, you can recognize a carrot. You eat an apple, you can recognize that apple in its full form. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so yeah, that's what I like about the sprouts too, because I'm growing them at home and they're alive. And the live food is so much better than like vegetables and stuff that have been sitting in grocery store shelves for goodness knows how long, and how far they've been trucked across from Chile or goodness knows where. But anyway, this is your show.
You hijacked it. It's your show now.
This is about you.
Angel, this is your show now. It's Jen from the chopping block.
No. That's not gonna work. But what I want you to have Orly Shamir on your show one day.
I know. We spoke. We have to reschedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I'd love to connect with her.
Yeah, she's doing some pretty good things on YouTube. Haven't been following too much because to be honest, I don't have time.
Yeah.
I can't keep up with everybody.
I know.
Every now and then, like flip the channel. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, and Todd, I don't know if Todd is still there. Is he still?
Todd, are you still with us?
But it was great. I loved his birthday greetings. He sent me Alvin and the Chipmunks. I just laughed out loud. Oh, it's great.
He's still here. He's still here. He's with us.
Did you hear me, Todd?
He put a smiley face with sunglasses on.
Oh, it was great. So now, well, I don't know. Is there anything else your audience should know about you, Jenny from the Chopping Block? Oh yeah, how did you come up with that name then?
So Jenny from the Chopping Block was about 2 years ago. Okay. Maybe longer. I'm trying to think. Okay. Dang. It's been a while. I was just doing like drink videos, like teaching people how to make cocktails. And we were playing around with at home just like a few different names. And I just felt like that one had a nice ring to it. And it's kind of like, because you could do so much with it. It's like, you know, Jenny from the Chopping Block, kind of like Jenny from the Block, you know, a little bit gangster. I'm a little gangster. And then you have like, you're chopping it up with people. So you have that aspect of it.
Yeah.
And then you never forget where you come from. Used to have a little, now I have a lot. And Chopping Block is like, you know, cooking and all that jazz. So that's how it started.
And you can do the karate chop as my bodyguard.
Well, thank you so much, Jen. This is so much fun.
My pleasure. It was a lot of fun.
I appreciate you. You're so sweet.
Well, I hope your audience got to know a little bit more about you and hear what you've been up to in this world and how you've came to Tony Robbins and your date with Destiny. Are you still on your date with Destiny or have you met Destiny?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Are you married now?
I'm dating my Destiny, but like I could totally see this escalating really quickly. Like sweating.
I feel a proposal coming.
You are so funny. That was an amazing question. I love it. Are you still dating your Destiny or are you ready to settle down?
Well, you let me know when, when you're off the market, I guess.
Oh. You'll have to meet me in Fiji.
Oh, wow. Are you going?
Dream. That's goals.
Oh, totally. Total dream. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Wouldn't that be so good?
Oh, it's going to be. Can you say that's going to be so good?
And it is going to be so good.
I know.
I'm going to go jump off Tony's waterfall.
I'm with you. We're going to hold hands.
Yeah, we are. Well, we'll discover it together because everyone always says, "Where is it?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. It's out there." Tony jumps off it, so it can't be that far. But yeah, we'll have fun. We'll go one day. We'll have to make it happen.
Definitely gonna happen.
It's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Well, my dear friend, I'm so glad to have been able to turn the tables on you and interview you and bring you a little more of you out to your audience. And I don't know if anyone asked more questions in your chat there that you might want to address, or whether you're ready to call it a night. it's all good too.
I just want to thank you and honor you because I just find that so sweet that you suggested to do this. And I just always love connecting with you. And it was freeing to be able to talk about a lot of the stuff that we did. So I'm forever grateful for that.
Oh, well, that's good. Good. I hope it wasn't too hard.
No, it was easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah? Oh, good. Good. Thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, it's more fun for me to know other people's stories because my story's boring now.
It's not boring.
I've been living with him for 45 years. It's boring.
But it's inspiring.
I guess it is.
You
Yes.
know it is.
Well, it's definitely a different kind of story. It's not a boy meets girl, boy and girl fall in love, boy and girl have baby, and look at the baby's getting married. It's not that kind of. It's definitely not that kind of a story. It's well, who knows where it's unfolding as it's supposed to. So we'll see where it goes, as everyone's, right?
Absolutely. And Todd writes, "Oh my God, so not boring." It's not boring.
As long as you're in my lifetime, we'll have fun.
It's so funny.
It'll be quite an adventure. Okay, lovely girl.
All right, I love you.
So good connecting with you, and good evening to all of Jenny from the Chopping Blocks audience. And we'll touch base again. When you get your seeds, we'll do an episode where we show your audience how you can sprout your broccoli seeds.
I cannot wait.
That means you're gonna have to give me notice so that I can have my seeds in various stages. So that
Well, you're on day 3 of yours now.
when was it that we talked last week sometime, right? This last batch is I think
We
it's
spoke Monday.
Yeah, so it's a week. Yeah.
Oh my God, it was a week ago?
This one that I've got going on is a week. Yeah, I think it's a week. Yeah.
Whoa. I feel like the weeks feel like days and the days feel like weeks.
Yeah, they really are going together. I think it's time for Corona to go so we can get out.
I'm ready.
Don't let
My
that
foot
door
fell
hit
asleep.
you on the way out there, Corona.
Bye-bye.
We'll have to deadbolt that lock.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, all right. I love you.
I love you
talk
too.
to you soon.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye. Are you gone?